Great to be here, Sean. Thank you.
First of all, have you seen the grassroots anger and resolve at this high a level ever before? Because I can't even think of 94. I don't think it was like this.
It was not. I remember 93 and 94 when the Republican Revolution happened, when Republicans won 7 out of 7 elections. I was one of them for lieutenant governor in Arkansas. There was an extraordinary groundswell of, oh my gosh, what have we done? Nothing like this. It's an absolutely different environment, in part because a lot of that was driven solely by Republicans. This is actually bubbling up from people who aren't necessarily political. They're just frustrated.
All right, now, but look, it's getting very confusing for people because we had TARP, then we had stimulus, then and these are all debates, and we've been going through numbers. I think it may get confusing for people. We had TARP, we had the stimulus, we had the omnibus. Now we're about to debate, starting next week, a nearly $4 trillion budget that we are told will create $10 trillion in debt and triple our national debt for our children and grandchildren. Explain to people as best you can what's going to happen as we start next week.
What will happen, the Democrats will say that if we don't pass this budget, that basically water won't come out of your spigots anymore. Your cars won't start. Your children will not be able to eat their cereal. It'll just be absolute
panic,
meltdown.
Fear-mongering.
And it's nonsense. What they need to be saying is, if you allow us to pass this ridiculously lard-loaded budget and put $10 trillion of debt on the future generations of this country, you better eat all you can today, because food's going to be scarce in the future.
All right, now what do you make of what Mike Pence, for example, and the Republicans, they came out with a GOP alternative, and it's interesting how the media excoriates them, because they laid out their principles, they laid out their plan. Where's the specific written budget? They want the 2,000 pages, but they were very clear, and it is the direct opposite of what Barack Obama's budget is. It relies on capitalism, on tax cuts, just free market solutions to our problems. What would you advise them to do so that they can get that message to the American people and successfully prevent Obama's budget from being passed?
From the chairman, Michael Steele, to every member of Congress and every member of the Senate, they need to go out into the highways and byways and articulate that this is a budget that really will empower ordinary people in their daily lives. The budget that Barack Obama, the administration, is proposing is one that is full of essentially government grab. That's what it's about. It's grabbing the last vestige of liberty right out of the life of each American.
But it seems like Obama has decided he's going for broke. He's going to take his entire radical agenda, nationalize health care, cap and trade, and he's going to dump it on the table. And he does he care what political...
If he believed in firearms, this is a man who is shooting every bullet he's got in the entire arsenal in the first few months. Is
he fearful that he's going to lose that support, and this is his only chance to push this through? And he's got to use the negative economic conditions.
Look, you were right about Barack Obama, and I was wrong. I said he would be moderate and temperate in his first 4 years. No, you were. You said he would go after it. I said, no, he'll disappoint the liberals, and he will surprise the conservatives. He has shocked me.
I honestly wish, for the sake of my country, that I was wrong. But I don't, and this goes back to, and I know the audience knows that I was all over his life, his association.
I didn't notice that at all. I didn't pick up on that at all.
You didn't see that? Okay. But it tells a lot about a person. Now, I think you're probably more forgiving a person than I am. I hold on. I have grudges. I hold on to them. I need forgiveness. I think there was a little thing that said, "Forgive us as we forgive." I guess here's the next question, because this fight is coming up and the battle is engaged here. What if this passes? What if the CBO is right that unemployment remains high into 2011? What if we do take on $10 trillion in debt? What does that mean for America?
Well, for America, it means we're going to be in for years and years of pain. It's going to be a very difficult period. For the Republican Party, it means that, in essence, the table has been set for us to pick the next menu. I think one thing, Sean, when Republicans are attacked for not having detail, let's ask the president. Okay, you've asked for $634 billion for a health care proposal.
A down payment.
We don't know. Yeah. Not one page. Not one page. The Republicans have said, let's have a 10% marginal tax rate for incomes up to $100,000, a maximum of 25% beyond that. That's a very specific proposal on the tax policy.
But the $634 billion for health care is a down payment. That's not even the whole thing.
Well, if you create an entitlement and you have a nation that already spends 80% of its $2.4 trillion of health care on chronic disease, and that's getting worse, not better, and baby boomers retiring at 10,000 a day. I can tell you right now, the sustainability of that is absolutely impossible. It cannot happen.
I've been using the same word. Governor will be watching this weekend. Thanks for being with us. Huckabee right here on the Fox News Channel. And coming up, President Obama sounded a lot like George W. Bush earlier today when he was talking about Afghanistan. We have a video comparison between the two. You don't want to miss that. And then later, reports that Hezbollah is entering the U.S. through Mexican drug smuggling routes and have put border cities now, they're on high alert. Now, the reporter that broke this story is here and will inform us. You need to hear it straight ahead coming up.